Howdy, everybody, and welcome to the next exciting chapter of Dreams of Infinity. I am Matthew R. Dawson, your friendly neighborhood host and magic keeper, and joining me around my virtual table tonight are Ashleyien, Hana, John, Kira, and Los. Say hi, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
They're awesome at that. Now, before we begin, we do have a few announcements to get through, starting with the first of our two sponsors for tonight's show, HeroForge. HeroForge offers fully customizable tabletop minis with dozens of fantasy species and thousands of parts to choose from. Their easy-to-use design tool lets you build your perfect miniature online using a fully 3D in-depth character creator right in your web browser, which is where we built the tokens for this game. You can build yours today at HeroForge.com. Our second sponsor for tonight's show is XSplit. XSplit is a high-quality virtual webcam background remover that works with your already existing webcam. Using this program, you can protect your privacy while you work or play remotely by blurring the background, removing it entirely, or even putting your favorite picture as the background instead. You can download the app today at xsplit.com, and if you use the coupon code RANDOM with a capital R, you can get 10% off of your purchase. You can find our referral link in the chat and show description. Last but not least, this Monday we're back with another episode of Aether Shanties, our Sagas campaign. Our heroes are thrust into space, flying on an airship that is out of control with no way to control it, and with nothing in a language they understand. So it's gonna be chaotic. Not to mention half of them are half dead, so there is that too. We'll see what happens. Now you can keep up to date on our schedule and everything we do here on the network by following us on Facebook as Random Rhapsody TV, on Twitter as @random_Rhapsody, on Blue Sky as Random Rhapsody, and on TikTok as Random Rhapsody_TV. And that's going to be it for our announcements. So join us as we return to Laropa City and continue on with the Magi-Knights as they investigate the Dreams of Infinity. And we're back. Now, you should know how we do our recaps. We offer up the Random Rhapsody coin, which is good for one free reroll during the session. If I get the coin, I get to use it in a lot of different ways, which make things very, very chaotic for our heroes, and no one really wants to deal with that. So, with that in mind, who wants to take up the recap today?
I'll take it.
Okay, well, Damian, tell us what happened last time on Dreams of Infinity.
Last night was insane. We had another battle, and against some of these horrifying creatures that tried to eat I want to say Kira was grabbed, and it's all such a blur because it was horrifying. I was terrified for most of the battle. I completely lost my bearings. But we came out on top, searched the cultists that we found, and sorry, Melody, not Kira. But searched the cultists that we defeated, and started to find a theme with these runes that we've been seeing. So the ring that Kat found off the guy that they knocked over with the janitor's cart at the power plant had a mark of greed on it, a rune in an eldritch script of greed. These cultists had a brand on their arm of envy. So now our wheels are spinning. As we were cleaning up, we saw that strange dude with a gun again, hooded, goggled, and, mysterious to say the least. Melody took off running after him, but just before he sprinted into the woods, he was absorbing this like green light, this magic off of the Ghost Hunter Club kids that were all passed out. But once Melody took off after him, he took off into the woods. And they had a little bit of a tense exchange. We have some theories. We think it might be James, but nothing confirmed as of yet. Melody seems to have quite the rapport with these tall, dark, mysterious individuals. So, hopefully she can run that down for us. Turns out that the energy that this hooded figure was pulling off of the Ghost Hunter kids was the same energy that we draw off when we get our gloom gems, which means we got ripped off on our gloom gems. This guy's stealing all of our points. So we're gonna have to figure that out. We're gonna have to figure out, a more equitable exchange here about that. The rest of the evening passed without event. We had a little bit of a photo shoot. And Salem was smart enough to take the camera home so that, cops don't grab the Ghost Hunter Club's camera and admit it into evidence. We want to make sure that they actually have the evidence of these spiritual goings on. So nice job, Salem. And then, back to school the next morning. Had a pretty good day, heading into lunch. Very curious about James pulling Melody aside after our third class there and wanting to chat. So very excited to see what he has to say to her. I'm excited to get some lunch. So let's get to it.
Okay, well done. There you go. There's the random Rhapsody coin. Don't forget to use it, though. It only lasts the session.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Magi-Knights. Let's get some music going on here.
Did everybody see James ask Melody to go?
That is an interesting question. I would like, because I honestly imagine that Melody is usually the last person out of the classroom. So I would like everybody else to make a perception check to see whether or not they spot Melody doing this. Melody, I just want to know what your passive stealth is.
Oh, let's see.
Got it out of the way.
Just 10 plus your stealth modifier.
It is 14.
14. Good to know. Thank you.
$14.
Okay. Well, then it looks like that Aisha and Damian do clock Melody stopping and seeing James and the two of them walking off in basically the opposite direction of where the natural flow of traffic would lead to the cafeteria.
Okay.
Okay. Well, with
It's not
that...
mysterious at all.
With that in mind, let's just recap the fact that it is Wednesday, September the 4th, and the lunch bell did just sound. So let's hear that one more time.
Ding dong, bang bong.
So, since James and Melody are currently heading off in the opposite direction, the rest of you, as I stated, unless you're planning on stopping and attempting to follow, are going to be heading with the rest of the flow of the school traffic down towards the lunchroom. Doesn't look like anybody's raising their hand, so we'll just keep going.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd like to, if possible.
You'd like to?
Yeah, I would like to catch up with Aisha, if possible, on our way to lunch and have a chat with her.
Oh, okay.
Are we in the same class?
Spanish was the last class?
I think so.
Then yeah, you both would be in the same class.
Yeah. So I'd say, Aisha, hey, do you have a second?
Yeah, I was just gonna make a phone call to the hospital.
I mean, we can catch up later.
We can do this first.
Okay. So you keep saying some things that are making me really nervous. And I want to check in, because I'm kind of worried about you. I hear you have this like strong desire to like be a human shield in a way, and I'm just wondering where that's coming from.
Jim, am I allowed to quote Marvel Comics?
Yeah, I mean, there's Marvel Comics in this world.
There is Marvel Comics in this world.
Great
We can be kind
power.
of squiffy with that.
Great power begets great responsibility, after all.
Yeah, but I mean, we all shoulder this burden together, right?
Some of us have to make up for the sins of our past.
I think I'm just worried that you're trying to do it all yourself instead of relying on us. And that, you know, like a team isn't just one person doing it for everyone else, right? Like if you don't take care of yourself, you're going to be no good to us.
Yeah.
Like this isn't like, I know you're used to being in the spotlight and being, you know, in front of your backup dancers, but like, you know, take it from me, like leading a team is really hard. That's why I don't want to be the captain of the soccer team. Like sometimes you got to take a back row seat and just support, right? And I don't want to see you go the way of David. I don't want to see you burn yourself out and die. Like this is life or death. This isn't winning or losing a soccer game. So like use us.
I'd rather work with you, but I hear you.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Cool.
Using would not be the verb I would use.
I mean, yeah, I'm just saying, like, you know, like everyone has a role to play, right?
But
like be the band leader.
only one of us does have barrier magic, and I'm just trying to get better at that. But
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. Okay, I
pick up what you're saying. I'm just
okay.
trying to use the spells I have chosen.
Totally.
Wrong word.
Totally. Okay, cool. Because we like you a lot.
It's nice to have real friends again.
Good.
But I've noticed
Yeah, you have a phone call. Oh, go ahead. What's up?
of the Ghost Hunter Club was not in school today, so I'm gonna call my doctor and see if I can get some information.
Yeah, good luck.
Okay. Well, that conversation is happening while you're all making your way down towards the lunchroom. Aisha, it sounds like you're splitting off as they get to the lunchroom to go find a payphone. There's absolutely payphones in a school. It's 96. Yeah, they're there. So you can absolutely go find that. The lunchroom, as always, is a bustle of activity. Students are clustered together at their tables, laughing, carousing, and, of course, gossiping with one another. As you previously noticed, the Ghost Hunting Club is absent today. And while I doubt that's much of a surprise to you, given the events of the previous evening, it doesn't surprise me either that their lack of presence is concerning. At a quick glance, you can see that the computer club is seated together at one of the tables in the lunchroom, as is the committee for the cultural festival. Lacey is easily spotted among them amidst a mountain of papers, and there are a small handful of tables that are open and available for your group. Right now, it's just kind of the three of you, since Aisha is splitting off to go and make a phone call. We will get to that in one moment, but before we get into that, let's take a look at the lunchtime activities, because you do need to think about what you're going to be doing during your lunch period. Now, what you can do as far as your lunch period, you can relax and eat with friends, do a last-minute cram session, listen to gossip, drink copious amounts of caffeine, or take a power nap. Now, the different benefits are all there. If you're interested, you can always go to Drive-Thru RPG and get the actual Magi-Knights Awakening book, so you can take a look at what we're actually talking about. But you all, the players, can see this right now. So before we get into what's going on, let's take a moment and decide what we're doing as far as the activity of lunch. Are you going to be relaxing and eating with friends, doing a last-minute cram session, listen to gossip, drink copious amounts of caffeine, or take a power nap? Now, Melody, you are currently heading away from the lunchroom, but this is still going to count as your lunch period. Now, depending on whether or not you actually take your whole lunch hour to do this, or if you break away after that, is going to be entirely up to you. So take a moment to consider that. As for the rest of you, take a look at this this chart real quick, and we will go around the table in one moment. Now, Aisha, you're wanting to stop and make a phone call. Are you planning on using your lunch hour for that, if that's what it takes?
Yeah, I was thinking it could count as like a listen to gossip.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm gonna try and call Dr. Natalie Fireby and see if my friends have been admitted to the hospital.
Okay, absolutely. So yeah, we can call this a listen to gossip, and that's totally fine. Let's start with that, because I feel like that's going to actually be the quickest. You head over to the phone, and while everyone else is making their way into the lunchroom, well, at least Damian, Salem, and Kat are, you pick up the phone and call your oncologist. It doesn't surprise you that the phone is answered by their secretary. What are you wanting to just... what are you trying to accomplish here? Like, you're just going to ask the doctor, hey, is my friend... Or what?
I'm gonna, like, initially present it as just, like, kind of a, hey, I'm still miraculously no longer sick. Giving you an update on that. And then, like, kind of slip it in.
Gotcha. Okay. So, I think with that in mind, you talk to your doctor's secretary for a few moments, but after like a minute or so, you're able to get through to the doctor, and you start in with your spiel. You know, I'm doing fine. Here's my update. Yada yada yada. Oh, by the way, and so what I want from you is, I think this is going to be either a deception or an influence check.
I am going to choose, I guess, either. I'm going to do influence, because I want the vibe to be like, I am concerned about these people, because I literally am.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's an 18.
18.
It's the only number I'm getting from Roll20 today. Thank you, Roll20 gods.
Hey, yeah, enjoy it while it lasts.
I will.
So with your 18, you kind of guide the conversation and mention the fact that you have some friends that you're looking for. At first, the doctor's kind of cagey because, you can't really give out medical information. But after a little bit of persuading, the doctor does say, well, I can at least look into it for a moment. And they put you on hold, and you kind of sit there with your lunch at the payphone waiting. Eventually, after about 10 minutes or so, the doctor picks up the phone once again and tells you that, yes, sure enough, they were taken and admitted to the hospital. They are currently at La Ropa General.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Farby.
You're welcome, dear. You're welcome. I look forward to seeing you again soon.
Yeah, I'll be in for another checkup soon. Have a good day. Also, for those keeping track at home, her bento today is little octopus sausages and rice.
No. Okay. Now, as for the three of you, Damian, Salem, and Kat, what do you want to do for your lunchtime activities?
Oh, this is easy. Salem is kind of riding the high from the morning and kind of wanting to progress it, but then realized what's fifth period, which for those at home that don't know, it is math. That is not my strong suit, so he is going to do a last-minute cram session.
Okay, I like it. Last-minute cram session, which gives you a +4 to your roll for that class. And yeah, they were 100%, unless you were calling collect. They absolutely were. You put a coin in
like
a few minutes.
A nickel or quarter would get you like 3 to 5 minutes, and then you would have to keep adding if you were on hold or if it went long.
Yeah.
Maybe I just always use loonies and wasted so many dollars on payphones.
I'm sorry, loony?
It's the Canadian $1 coin.
Yeah.
Just,
and don't they actually have loons on them?
Yeah. They have loons on them. That's why they're called
that's
loonies.
why they're called loonies.
This is why Canadians aren't taken seriously anywhere.
I love it. I love the name.
And that's your random Canadian fact of the day, everyone.
Indeed. Okay, so Salem is doing a cram session. Kat, what about you?
What she usually does, listens to gossip. She's hoping to get some clues of something.
Okay. So that is going to be an investigation check. Or a perception, I suppose.
Let's see. They're both the same.
What about you, Damian?
I'm gonna relax and eat with friends.
Okay, who you relaxing with?
Soccer team.
Soccer
I'm
team.
gonna let slip that I may have heard that our game against the La Ropa High might be a little easier.
I like it. So, since you're relaxing and eating with friends, you get to remove 1 stress point and gain 1 social point with 1 NPC or social or Magi-Knight. There's going to be somebody on the soccer team. If you have no stress points, you gain an additional social point. So,
Tight.
Go ahead
That's
and
what I'm
add
gonna
your
do.
2 social points.
Okay.
Now, Kat, with your 9, unfortunately, everybody seems to be really, heads down together, talking quietly. But you do find out one interesting piece of information. You overhear one kid who is complaining to another kid at a table nearby. He mentions the fact that his dad is a cop and they were called out to respond to several calls the previous evening. You hear the kid complaining about the fact that his father told him in the morning that apparently the power went out on the lower west side of the city. It was a huge power outage that blacked out the entire neighborhood. His dad was complaining and griping this morning, saying that if these outages keep happening in Loropa City, the property value is going to drop and businesses will start leaving because of that fact. That's about it.
Oh, and there just so happens to be a new development company moving in, right?
Yeah.
Ready to buy up all these cheap homes. Mm.
Yeah.
Dark.
With
So
greedy
dark.
rings.
Yeah, and the cop is complaining. I love how capitalism is always a bad guy.
Now, while that's all going on, Melody, James leads you down the hallway to the stairwell, the same one that you usually take to go up to the second floor. He leads you past the second floor, however, continuing onward to the roof, the same doorway that he led you previously a week ago. Actually, yeah, it was exactly a week ago, when you were at the newspaper club.
Is it unlocked again this time?
He walks straight up to it and just pushes it, and the door opens.
Okay.
He leads you outside, and you go out into a rather bright and sunny mid-afternoon. The sun is high in the sky, it is lunchtime, and there's very little clouds overhead, so it is quite bright. There's just a slight amount of breeze that kind of ruffles your skirt as you step out onto the upper part of the school. James walks past and kind of goes out towards the edge of the school building and sits down on the ledge.
Like the ledge down to the ground?
Yeah, like, if you imagine a building and there's like usually a ledge around the outer edge so people can't just like step and fall off.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And he's sitting on that.
Okay. I will go sit next to him, I guess.
As you go and sit down next to him, he turns to face you, and this is probably like the most direct he's actually been with you. Like, he doesn't have the usual playing hard to get, coy, ignoring everyone expression on his face. Instead, he actually looks fairly earnest as he turns to face you. James says to you, Your investigation into Loropa High seems to be fruitful.
How do you know this?
He just kind of gives you a flat stare.
Okay, I won't ask. Have we learned, or have we helped you learn anything you didn't know before?
I don't know if help is the word I would use, but you've definitely made an interesting spectacle.
I won't disagree with you on that.
He kind of hesitates for a moment, but then he kind of like almost blurts this out to you as he says, I need you to leave him alone.
Oh. Can I ask why?
It's complicated. It's actually probably the most complicated thing anyone in this city has ever done. But it's important.
But the coaches are all part of a cult and they're using the students.
You've already taken out 2 of them.
It's just the students are getting used and they're exhausted. It feels wrong to let them continue to do that.
He kind of looks you up and down for a moment. And do you, Melody, do you own like anything designer? I know that you come from a wealthy family, so I'm just curious. Would you own like designer items, jewelry, clothing, anything like that?
Definitely her boots would be.
Mm-hmm.
I think she'd also have kind of like a goth bracelet, like a leather band that could be designer.
Okay. So he kind of nods to these things, and he says, "Tell that to the kids in the sweatshops." It's all subjective, Melody.
I guess my problem is that I don't really see what the benefit is. Can you share with me at all what can be gained from allowing them to do this?
Make for me a persuasion check.
Okay. $15.
He hesitates for a moment, but finally he kind of sighs. And, like, you can tell that it's a little bit of a sigh of resignation. But keeping in mind how many friendship points that you have with him currently, he says to you, "I have a theory. It's well, it's a hunch more than a theory, but I believe they're building something. You see, there's something that's described as, well, as a spectral structure." And he nods to your bag, in the book that I gave you. I found more mentions of similar things in other books that I've read. My theory, as it stands, is that Loropa High is... the people there, the cult, they're gathering energy. And they're using it to build the structure. Now, if I'm right... What's that?
You think they're building it at Loropa High?
He shakes his head. No. Not there at the school. I'm fairly certain that's where they're keeping the stored energy. I think once the energy is collected, it'll be sent outward. And when that happens, I think I can harness it.
How do you plan to use it?
To keep myself alive.
Are you only surviving by spectral energy?
Make another persuasion check.
Okay. It's always when it matters most. 7.
It's complicated. Let's just say it's complicated.
I want to take out my soul crystal really quickly to see. I don't think I've ever taken it out near him before to see if it glows at all.
Okay. Make a mysticism check.
Okay. Oh, 14.
You pull out your crystal and you focus on it, focusing the magic within you, looking into it. You hold it up towards James, but there is no glow. However, as you're holding it up and looking at him and then at it and then at him, you see that he holds up something as well. It's almost like yours as you focus on it. It's a crystal. One that is dark blue, almost purplish in color. However, one thing stands out very, very differently than yours. Yours is solid, whole, whereas his, there are these dark red lines all through it, zigzagging everywhere, back and forth. And as you look closer at it, you can almost feel, with that 14 mysticism, a radiation of energy pulsing out from those colored lines.
Does it look like sorry, I was lagging for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Does it look like kintsugi pottery? It's where it's like broken and then it has gold in the cracks to seal it all together. So it's like that except red.
That is an excellent comparison, yes.
Okay. Say, what happened to your soul crystal?
Curiosity happened. And as he says that, like, he kind of flicks his wrist a little bit, and the crystal kind of does that, you know, that whole labyrinth thing where David Bowie is doing that with the crystal, but it's just across his knuckles like a coin. He kind of does that a little bit before flicking it away, and it disappears down his sleeve.
Ooh, you're a magician.
Something like that, I guess.
So was your curiosity what caused you to have to live off spectral energy?
In a roundabout fashion.
Does it have anything to do with your interest in blood magic and the other types of magic you read about in Sirius's books?
Not necessarily, but it certainly has helped things along. I mean, that's the thing, Melody. It's things tend to build on top of one another. Everything we do is just pieces of a much larger puzzle. We humans, we kind of think about things in 3 dimensions, but there's so many more of them. And within those dimensions, there's so much out there. It's hard not to be curious, you know? But you know what they say about curiosity? That's neither here nor there, I guess.
Well, you should be extra careful then. If your soul crystal looks like that, you're probably barely hanging on.
Now you know why I asked you up here. He tells you with a very wry smile on his face. I'm not saying ignore him forever. Just till the weekend is fine. If
What
nothing
day is it today again? Sorry.
Wednesday.
Sorry.
Today's Wednesday.
Wednesday. Okay. Sorry, what were you saying though?
All I was saying is I'm only asking for a few days. If nothing happens by then, have your fun. Do what you need to do. I'm sure you got plenty of other threads to be digging at. So just leave that one alone for a few days. That's all I'm asking.
Okay. I can do that, but I'm guessing you don't want me to tell anybody else about this?
No. I would prefer you didn't.
Okay, so I have to convince them without telling them why.
He kind of looks at you directly once again, Melody, and he says, I'm taking a very large chance talking to you about this, Melody. You've been wanting me to trust you. So here's my question. Can I trust you?
Yes.
He nods his head. I appreciate that.
Thanks for giving me this chance.
Just don't make me regret it, Melody. That's all I'm asking.
I won't.
Good. And hopefully, I'll be there to shoot things out from under you.
Yeah, I mean, that would be nice.
He just kind of chuckles a little bit. If this works out, I'll tell you what I'm actually up to.
Okay. It's a deal.
He holds out his hand for you.
Okay, I shake it.
It's probably about the time the lunch bell rings. Once again.
I have to go to second half of school hungry.
As he's walking away, he tosses you an energy bar.
It's like, oh, you can be thoughtful.
Maybe to those I trust.
Thank you.
And he walks away.
Okay. I'll hurry back downstairs before a teacher discovers me up here.
As you do, the door kind of makes a sound clanging behind you. But you hurry and make your way down the stairs as the rest of the student body is starting to make their way out from the lunches and towards the next class. You can go ahead and add an extra social point with James because you convinced him he can trust you.
Yeah, thank you. Can I also remove the stress because I wanted to do relax and eat with friends anyway?
Oh yeah, I did forget to ask you about that. So yes, you can absolutely get rid of a stress point.
Perfect, thank you.
Which also means that you do have another social point to give if you want to give it to anybody.
Oh, well, I mean, James is the only one I talk to, so
There you go.
I'll just give him 2, I guess. Thank you.
Okay.
At the end of her phone call, Aisha would talk into the receivers and say, "Ghost hunters are in hospital. Let's let them recover."
Oh, and to the communicator?
Yeah. I called it a receiver. I don't know why.
It's okay. But yeah, everyone would hear that over the communicators. Okay, well, with that, it is now the beginning of the second part of our school day. Your fourth period is Language Arts with Mr. Liam O'Shea. Mr. O'Shea is that one teacher that looks just absolutely ridiculous. Always dresses in garish colors, always wears like a Hawaiian shirt underneath his suit coat. He's got a bald head, long white hair, goatee. His shirt is half open to reveal gold chains. Like he just looks straight up like a porn star from the 80s. Anyway, what everybody is going to be rolling as Mr. O'Shea says, "Now come in, everybody. Get into the class. Sit down. We're going to be getting right into it." You're all going to be making, for me, an academic arts check.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Okay, let's go around the table, starting with our team's fearless leader, Aisha.
I'm very fearful with a 5.
Ouch. Yeah, that is a failure. Damian.
Yeah, 14.
14, that's a success. Melody.
8.
8, that is a failure. I wonder what Melody's mind is on right now. Salem.
11.
11 is a failure.
Can I use my the D4?
Technically, you're supposed to ask that before I ask what
My
you're doing,
apologies.
but you know what? Go for it. We're still trying to remember how to play this game.
I got a 4, so 15.
15, that makes it a success. Well done. Katrina.
22.
22, that is a success. With language arts ending, your next class is mathematics with Mr. Vale. Now, Mr. Nathaniel Vale is a dark-skinned man, very somber. He kind of always looks like he just got back from a funeral. But he says, "Come in, everybody, sit down immediately. Get your pens and papers out. We're getting right to work." And I'm going to need everybody to make a STEM check. Now, Salem, you do get a +4 to this.
Wow.
Everyone, are you okay?
No.
Okay, Damian, what'd you get?
I think I'm gonna use my coin. I don't.
Okay.
Can't roll a negative or a nat one
Yeah.
on a school check.
That's fair. There's the coin. Go ahead and make your next roll.
All right, come on, dice gods. Is it? Do I have to decide to roll the 4 before I
It's
Or can I
after.
roll it after? It's after? Okay.
It is after? I thought you had to do
Sorry.
it before. Oh, yeah. Wait a minute. No. Oh, it's after
those
the
ones
first roll. I mean.
specifically.
Yeah.
Yeah, those ones specifically you can do after you roll.
Tight. So I can roll a d4?
Yes, you can roll a d4. You're good.
14.
14, that is a success. Good job.
Oh my god.
The coin worked.
The coin worked. Hey, you didn't roll the exact same thing this time. That's good.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And you even used it for yourself. That's usually what makes it be the same number.
That's true. That's true. Okay, Melody.
I rolled a 1,
Oof.
so it's a 4.
Yeah, that is 2 failures. Something's on Melody's mind. I wonder what it is. Salem.
I'm so glad I studied because with the +4, I got a 22.
22, definitely a success. Kat.
I got a 6.
6 is a failure, unfortunately.
Yeah,
I think I'd
keep
like
working on
to-
save.
I think I'd like to be sitting next to Melody being like, so what'd you and James talk about? Like for the first half of the class? And like, you know,
So you're why I rolled a 1.
well, I mean, I rolled a 1 too. And what I'd like to imagine is if she's going to hold true to what James said and not divulge, like if I'm, you know, and you're not going to give me anything, then I ice you out and start studying real hard. And that's why I started rolling real well.
Wait, but would you know that Melody's not telling the truth?
If you're not telling me anything, I was like, what do you and James talk about? What do you and James talk about?
Maybe she lied, though.
How'd it go?
It was interesting.
In what way?
He's just talking with me more about the book he gave to me and the new one he's reading by Seriously.
Can I make an insight check? To see if she's lying to me?
That was a lie. Evasive, but not a lie.
I'll allow it.
Against a deception check, or is it just insight?
I just want to see what you roll as an insight.
Roll 8. Roll an 8.
Yeah,
That checks out.
yeah, that checks. Yeah, Melody's
okay.
absolutely telling the truth.
All right. Now I go back to studying.
Just for mechanics purposes, what I was using is Melody's passive deception.
Got it.
Anyway, next period is computers with Mrs. Mallory St. Cloud. Mrs. St. Cloud is a younger woman, typically wears these nice dress suits. As she's everybody's coming in, she welcomes you all, says, okay, everybody, get on your computers. We're going to be discussing a brand new invention that's only recently taken hold in households nationwide, the internet.
I've had that for 4 years.
I know, it was a joke. But not in households nationwide. About 94 or 95 is really when it started hitting U.S. Houses. But anyway, you're making an investigation or a STEM check.
Sorry, you know what, I'll allow it.
Melody's competitive side came out. She's like, I can't let Damian question me again. I have to do well in this class.
Absolutely. Well, what did you get, Melody?
19.
19. That is a success. Salem.
Salem got a little too excited typing on the keyboard and started playing a melody to a song. I got a 10.
Ouch. Yeah, that is a failure. Kat.
I got a 19.
19. Success. Aisha.
I got 7 after thinking, what would my brother do? Which is apparently be distracted by Melody and Damian's conversation last period.
Well, that's better than what I was going to say. I was going to say you Googled yourself.
No, learn not to do that. That's not even a problem yet. But I've already learned not to do that.
Fair enough. Okay, Damian, what'd you get?
An 11.
Oof, that is a failure. Okay, well, tally up your successes, subtract your failures. Let's go around one more time and see how we did. Salem, what'd you get?
Ended the day with a 5.
Ended the day with a 5?
5?
Oh, just count the last 3 classes.
Oh,
the
last
last
3.
three classes,
Last
yeah.
3. Then 1.
Okay, that makes more
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah, that makes. Sorry, I went whole day. I wanted to be like super student today.
Yeah. But anyway, with a 1, you're keeping up that positive attitude. You're doing okay, but things could get better, so no change. Kat, what'd you get?
I got 1.
You got 1 as well, so keep up that positive attitude. Aisha, what'd you get?
-1.
Oof, there's always tomorrow. You're going to be taking 1 stress point. Damian, what'd you get?
1.
1. That's same thing. Keep up that positive attitude. You're doing okay, but things could get better. Melody, what'd you get?
-2.
Ouch. It is just one of those days, you know. Stuff has been on your mind pretty much all day long, and lunch didn't help at all. You're going to gain 2 stress points, which does affect your soft stats.
2 stress points, you say?
Yeah, -2 is
Okay.
2 stress points.
I just kind of remember. Thank you.
Yeah, stop listening to Limp Bizkit.
You kind of got out there.
Yeah. Okay, that was weird. What did you say, Damian?
I just made a joke. I said she's got to stop listening to Limp Bizkit.
Oh.
Just one of those days.
Oh, I had no clue what.
I got it.
Okay,
I
I
got it.
understand now.
Everything. Everybody's.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, well, sometimes you do got to justify ripping someone's head off.
All right, I'll see myself after this match.
We have to find another Earth Magi-Knight.
Look, 16-year-old Los had no idea. There was no accounting for taste. You know.
Well, with that, the school bell rings once again, and it is the end of the day, which means we're going to be getting into our free time phase. So, with that in mind, let's talk a little bit about what's going on here at Free Time. Now, for some of you, your free time is actually going to be taken up by your student club. There are a couple clubs that are going on today. The 3 clubs that are going on today is dance practice, art club, and newspaper club. So we got those 3 things going on. Kat, are you going to dance practice today?
Yep, she's not skipping it.
Okay. So you got dance practice. Melody, are you going to the art club? Or are you going to the newspaper club? Or skipping?
No, I'm not officially in any clubs yet, so I think I'm going to skip since I have so much stress to deal with.
That is valid. Okay. So with that in mind, the only thing that's going to be happening today is the dance practice. For everybody else, let's take a look at our free time activities. We got 2 handouts here. Now, I'm not going to go into all of them for our audience, but I will at least talk about what options there are. Now, for example, at the end of the school day, our heroes can go out into the city, have some fun, get some stress gotten rid of, or just do some random things that might help them throughout their day. One thing they can do is hit up the arcade. They can go to the mall. They can go out to eat or go to the movies. They can play sports with friends or take a moment of catharsis and try to get rid of some of that darkness in your crystal. You can converse with the Herald if you want to. You can also hang out with a close friend. Other things you can do include going out on a date if you have a certain amount of social points with them. You can do some rest and relaxation. You can study and complete homework. You can do some combat training or go to your part-time job. Or, if the worst happens, you might have to go to detention. But fortunately, none of our heroes have actually done anything bad enough to earn a detention. So that's good.
Yet.
I was about to say.
Yet. Yes, that is true. But, with that in mind, who knows what they want to do for their free time?
I just realized how well behaved all of us are, because
I know.
in basically every other stream I've watched, there's always been other kids that go to detention.
You're right. I go up and push the principal. I'm just kidding.
I have an image to maintain. Thank you very much.
I want to stay on the soccer team. I don't. Yeah, I can't. Can't get detention.
What if we went to like one of those like obstacle course escape rooms and swing it as playing sports with friends to go get some stress out?
Interesting.
I'm not stressed,
I'm good.
so I don't feel the need. I was thinking about studying, actually.
Yeah, I kind of like the studied feat. I might do the same.
You want to study together?
Sure. Yes, please.
Okay.
Okay, so Damian and Salem are going to be doing some studying. I like it.
So you're saying you want to do blow off steam? Aisha?
Is that one? I was saying the closest one to that in my mind was playing sports with friends. I guess the first sentence that is you decide to blow off some steam for physical exertion.
Yeah, I think that's because that's the old one. It's now just called blow off steam because we wanted it to apply to more than just sports.
Oh, that's right.
That makes sense. Yeah, I'm not looking at the book right now. I'm just looking at the handout.
Yeah. I can do that one with you if you'd like, since I need to reduce stress.
Yeah, I figured that would get both our stress off and we could gain a little social point with each other.
Yes.
Okay. So the two of you are going to be blowing off some steam. You decide to unwind through physical exertion, doing whatever, and it reduces stress by 3. Wow. Okay. I dig it. So that's actually everybody right now. Because Kat's going to the dance club. Okay. So, Damian, Salem, where do the two of you do your study session?
I mean, I was gonna ask. My apartment's close by, or we could stop by the Ambrosia Cafe, or just stay on campus. Whatever works.
I'm curious. Like, is there a way to hit like 2 birds with 1 stone? Like, do you want to go study at the La Ropa High soccer field? No, we can. Yeah, I'd be happy just doing a social call at your place and just hanging out.
Sure.
My apartment it is.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's within walking distance, but Damian also has a car, so it's not difficult at all to get to Salem's house and do your study session. Aisha and Melody, it sounds like the two of you are going to an escape room.
Yeah, like one of those like obstacle course, or I guess it doesn't have to be physical anymore. It's just like blowing off steam now.
Yeah, it's kind of however you want it to be. So the two of you head out to one of those escape rooms, which are always fun. I love doing escape rooms myself. And spend a couple hours there trying to get through one of those, probably one of the easier ones, because like the harder ones take several hours to get through, like a good 6-8 hours or so. So
Those exist.
yeah, some
Even
really hard ones exist.
Oh, even the hardest ones anywhere in the city kick you out after an hour.
Well, whatever. Anyway, while that's
Terrifying.
so, the two of you basically get the studied effect. Damian and Salem, you just get to add the studied effect to your sheet. What that does is it's going to give you a plus 1d8 to any student class check on your next school phase.
I forgot where we said we would add that.
I think I pulled it up. You can make a note of it. I think I put it in ideals just because it's right at the top.
That's right.
And then I just wrote studied one just so it's right there, easy to see.
And we only get one social point, even though we like study with each other. It's not a mechanic, so we'll just give each other the free social point.
Each get a social point with each other.
Perfect.
Cool.
Then Aisha and Melody, the two of you also get a social point with one another, and you get to reduce your stress by 3. Now, Kat.
Well, also, sorry, if you spend your free time with only one other Magi-Knight, though, you also get an extra social point. So those two and us two can each have one extra.
Okay.
There
you go.
That's what I thought. I thought there was something like that.
So that would be free total then?
2 then.
2. Because we get the freebie. Oh, yeah, we don't get any social points from blow off steam. So we get the freebie and the some one-on-one time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Extra.
It says in the handout that you gain 1 social point with someone you played with, but did that change when it became blow off steam?
Yes. We were trying to balance things more, so take it out.
Got it. So we just have to remember when we're reading the handout on Roll20 that that's actually incorrect.
Just need to go through and redo them all.
Sorry about that.
It's okay.
No.
It's all good.
In like 9 days or so, I'll have the book and I will never look at the handouts on Roll20 again.
Well, let's go ahead and go over to Kat, who's doing her dance club. This is considered a sport, I believe. Is that correct?
Yep.
Okay, so first thing I need you to do is I need you to decide how much participation you do in your club. Are you going to go full throttle and gain an exhaustion point, but you also gain a club tally? Are you going to go to moderate participation, which gives a plus 10 to your growth check? Or do you want to do boisterous support and gain 1 social point with a club NPC? Or do you want to take it easy and reduce stress and exhaustion by 1 point?
Moderate participation.
Okay.
She doesn't want to go through full throttle. She has too many things to do after.
No, that's
Too
totally
much going
fair.
on.
Totally fair. So you are moderately participating during your dance practice. You gain plus 10 to your growth check, which is what I'm going to have you do next. So you're going to roll a D100 and add 10. On a 50 or higher, you gain 1 club tally.
46 plus 10. So 56?
Yeah, so that is, you get plus 1 to your club tally. Very nice. Last thing you need to do is you need to make an athletics con check for me.
I can't be Dex. I'm so much better at Dex. Sorry, I have to change it.
Yep.
23.
Wow, nice.
Nice.
So I still did good.
Yes, you did. That is still a success, so you do not become exhausted from your day at dance. Okay. Well done, everybody. So, once your free time phase ends, Salem, Damian, the two of you are at Salem's place. Aisha and Melody, the two of you are just finishing up at the escape room, and Kat, you are at school still, finishing up at the dance class. So you're all going to have to kind of coordinate with one another and get and kind of talk over the communicators to decide how you're going to spend your investigation phase, because that's what comes up next. It's getting to be about 5 o'clock in the evening by this point. The sun is just starting to set, and it is getting a little bit colder now because, it is September. But you do have a moment here where you're going to have to discuss and talk about what you plan on doing during your investigation phase.
Is Kat the only one still at the school?
Yes, she is.
Okay. I say over the communicator, Kat, can you do me a quick favor and test the door to the roof and see if it's locked? I wanted to do that before I left school, but I forgot.
Which door to the roof?
Is there only one door to the roof?
I don't know.
Yeah, there is. It's on
Okay.
it's in the southern stairwell.
Okay. I'll go check it. And does Kat get a social point with an NPC?
Yes, you do. Yeah, you get an NPC with this. You get a social point with the NPC at dance.
Save that. Okay. So Kat will go run upstairs and see if the door's locked.
It is.
I message back. It's locked.
Okay. I have to figure out somehow how James keeps getting up there.
Ghost magic.
Teleportation.
Thank you for checking.
I think Damian's mind is stuck on the soccer team, still being pushed, and then realizing there were only 8 kids total?
12.
Were there
12?
12?
Mm-hmm.
And that's not the full team. There's no way that's a full team.
No.
There's subs and backups and bench warmers. So I think he wants to consider other areas that might be serving as secret practice spots, but maybe even going by Loropa High after hours, because they were practicing so late that it's very possible that they're still doing that. So that's Damian's vote, is to try to find the coach, and it's probably not just the assistant coaches that were doing this.
Okay, so you communicate that over your walkie-talkies to everybody. What's everyone's thoughts?
Let's review all our plot threads, I'm going to call them right now.
Mhm.
So we've got Loropa High. We've got the development company. We've got the church. We've got the despairing kids.
Sorry, go ahead.
And we also have the activity at the water plant. Am I missing anything?
We still have the video game thing, but that one isn't gonna.
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't. I'm gonna put
How
that
about that?
one, if possibly, lower, because it doesn't seem like they're actually doing their testing for a little bit. So I think that's gonna allow us a little bit of time before we should really focus on it.
I agree there. Everything started with the church, and I really feel like we should be looking into that sooner.
I mean, I wasn't part of that, but I'm more
Oh,
than happy to take a look
sorry.
into it.
I actually have a reminder for myself that the AA meeting is today, so we actually need to do that.
Oh, I can go. My mom dated somebody who was in AA. I think I can do that.
Well, It's at the church, so it goes hand in hand with investigating the church.
Sacred Hearts Church.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would like to go as well.
I think if we go to the church, it might be better if we go as a group. It's like the whole Christian-y thing. And that place is kind of creepy. Last time y'all described it.
Yeah,
It's
a
very
church.
creepy.
Yeah, I don't really want
Trees
anybody
everywhere.
going alone.
I still do not understand why you're all so hung up on the trees, Cat.
It's weird. And then there's the weird. They had weird songs.
I'm too Asian for this.
Well, they had weird songs. I swear they were
Okay,
singing.
no. Weird songs. That I understand. Just the trees. The trees are the only part that are confusing to me.
Yeah, it's a Catholic church. Those are just the hymns. They're always weird. It's fine.
I don't know.
I think
I still think there's a connection between the trees there and the lumberyard. Somehow.
I just want to be clear that like we've only stopped half what's happening at the soccer team, right?
Yep.
Like that
Agreed.
coach is still out. Those kids
We're
are
missing a
still at
coach.
risk, and that's something that like we know is happening, right? Is that these
Yep.
kids are getting taken advantage of, drained. So like I understand seeking out our other threads, but I think this one takes priority.
We should at least. I don't think anyone should go alone to any of these places.
What
Well,
more are we going to learn just staring at them doing this? We know it's happening until we have a plan to actually go back
I
to
mean,
the
we do
school.
what we
Find
did
them?
at the graveyard, right? We use our crystals and we transform and we take them out.
We need to find them.
That'd be more of a after we investigate.
During patrol
situation.
phase? When we do patrol?
And drive around and look for
Yeah.
parks or
Soccer
something.
practice?
Okay.
But right now, I'm just
Unless
saying,
anyone.
Okay.
I mean,
We don't know where
And-
the what's it called? The coach went to. Is he still working at the school? He wasn't there, was he?
he wasn't at the
No, he wasn't
the
at the
graveyard. But you don't usually, unless it's a real big operation, bring the boss to like.
I mean,
is
he would be at
shrimp
practices,
too.
but like they split up the team so that if they got caught, the whole team wouldn't go down, right? Like it was just so he's with the rest of the team is where he is, wherever he is, so that they can still play.
So,
I also wanted to remind everyone that I'm pretty sure at the restaurant, didn't the thing that was growing out of the ground look like a tree? The spectral energy crystal thingy? Didn't that look like a tree?
Maybe.
Or wasn't there something tree related in the restaurant?
thought it
I
was
feel
a-
like
I thought it was like pustule, but now I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I don't
I thought it was
know.
more
Yeah,
like a
something about a
veins.
tree in our
there's
notes.
a crystal.
I'll kind of weigh in on that one. The crystal did not look like a tree. It was just
Oh,
like big jagged like quartz formation, jagged
Yeah.
pointy crystals.
I was thinking like Final Fantasy. I just imagined the Final Fantasy crystal. I'm being real.
Though
No.
there was a connection between the restaurant and the church because apparently the church, the restaurant served food at something for the church.
Oh, that's maybe what I was thinking of. I knew there was some connection.
I don't know if
there
that
is
can
something
connect it
to
to
the
the AA
tree.
or what it was.
I mean, if that's the case, then in theory, since we did kind of sort of take out the big bad there, if those two are connected, then the church wouldn't still be functioning, or
We don't know.
we don't
Well-
know. So, but I agree with Damian that the kids' lives are on the line right now. So
Yeah.
maybe that will be our focus until we get that resolved.
What more information can we get right now? We know what's happening. We just need to make a plan to stop it.
And we need to figure out what's happening with these power outages in this property company.
I just think right now we should focus as this time as our investigating time, and a little later in the night when we have the benefit of the cover of darkness as our stopping stuff time.
Okay.
I do want to break into a high school.
Okay.
Also, to catch you up, Salem, our first night as Magi-Knights, we fought an outsider and some cultists in the park in the center of town, if Hana remembers the location of the park correctly. And we found some paraphernalia referencing an old church's Alcoholics Anonymous group, which now have migrated to Sacred Heart.
Okay.
Pretty much, this new church kind of took over and took all the patronage of the old church. The old church is still there. It's just everything kind of migrated to this new church, which is kind of weird.
Yeah.
So in my notes, it says that the Imperial Restaurant worked with Sacred Heart Church to feed homeless people. So they are connected.
But I
Maybe
think
they've
that's
had
too loose
somebody.
of a connection, though. All of them, I think, are connected.
Which is
so-
why we should try and find more concrete details while we can.
Okay.
I still think
Well,
there's something
5
going on with the church outside what was going on with the restaurant. So
Yeah, I think the thing that I'm hesitating about is all 5 of us rolling up to an AA meeting as high school
yeah,
kids.
I think if
we
one or
split
two.
into two. Split into 2 groups to do 2 different things.
I mean, we are just investigating, nothing further than that. And I think if we're going to, Melody and I can handle the church.
I think if possible, I'd like to drive by Laropa High, see if I recognize the coach leaving the school. Although I guess, yeah, I don't know.
They probably would have already left by now, right?
Yeah, because I forgot we're at the end of free time and not right after school.
Yeah, so it is about 5 o'clock in the evening at this point.
We don't know where he lives either.
Maybe I could drive around outskirts of. I'm trying to see like where parks are, and outside of like Laropa Park and the cemetery, I don't know where else they could be
I
practicing.
mean, we can play hooky on Friday.
I don't know. Just sort of wondering, since this is investigation time, is there a way to kind of do some kind of investigation or research to find out where they might be practicing? Like good locations that would be secluded enough and...
Oh, Sacred Heart's right by Laropa General.
So to answer your question about just investigating likely spots, yes, that's something you could absolutely do. Like if you go to the library and do research there, you could probably figure out different possible locations.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that.
Okay.
What if we go to the hospital, Salem? Or wait, no, you're gonna go with Melody. So what if Kat and I go to the hospital and we try and check in, just like do a courtesy check in on the Ghost Hunter Club?
I think that's a
Their
good
conscience.
idea.
And
I don't quite
also
trust
check out the unconscious guy we heard about.
Yeah, the
Mhm.
guy from the lumberyard.
Yeah.
That's not a bad idea.
I agree. Also, I'm getting a little, I don't know, nervous because I don't trust the cult to leave the Ghost Hunter Club alone if they realize who they are. You know, they might know too much. So just checking in could be good.
Yeah, it's a great idea.
They possibly had like all their memories wiped or something too. We don't know.
We don't. But we
Somebody
can
else
find out.
might know. He's probably around here somewhere. He usually is when.
Oh, are you looking for me, Kat?
Yes.
There's the Wanderer. He's just sitting there. Like you just left school, so he's sitting there in a tree that you happen to be sitting underneath, and he looks down at you. Oh yeah. Sorry. What was your question?
For the Ghost Hunter Club and the cultists and everything, will they remember anything, or will they have their memories wiped?
Oh no, they definitely won't remember anything. when you banish the spectral energy out of their bodies, it wipes their memories completely. So that the cultists and those they possess, they can never remember anything about the outsiders. As far as the ghost hunting club, your friends, well, they would have remembered like coming up and seeing the soccer club at the cemetery and heading up towards it. They probably would have remembered most of what they saw up until the point that they got zapped by the energy. But I wiped their minds already. They're clean. They're good. Their memory is of driving to the cemetery and almost getting in a car accident, but hitting their head in a sudden stop, and so they're actually probably going to be waking up here fairly soon with a memory of just almost getting in an accident and hitting their heads. They'll probably just kind of shrug it off.
That's just odd, especially if they're going to be in the hospital because the police and stuff showed up and they were in the cemetery, but yet they were in a car accident and
It's the 90s. It's not that odd.
Yeah, no, it's really not that odd. They were found in their cars.
I thought they were left. We left them in the cemetery.
Well, yeah, but they were found in their car, and so that's why they have that memory.
Okay. I'm a little confused, but okay.
Man. I can't with the Wanderer. Like,
This cat's lifting weights. He's strong.
I can't.
Is there anything he can't do?
And he's like,
No,
he's
there's
a
a lot
cat.
he can't
He's like
do.
this big. He's like tiny.
But he's ripped. Has like an 8-pack under it all.
It looks like the cat from Kiki's Delivery Service, but with wings. I mean,
Yeah.
come on.
Cute.
Oh boy. Okay,
Right.
so we will go. Well, we can go talk to them and see if they remember anything. If they're okay. Like, oh, we showed up or you weren't at the where, or I don't know, or maybe we didn't show up.
It will also help.
Oh, sorry.
The phone call I made to my doctor earlier today. If I show up and like give them some flowers.
Well, my mom works at the hospital, so.
Yeah, same. Look up Valentina Diaz.
I feel like I
Do
know
I-
nothing about any of you. Okay.
We need to hang out eventually. But right now, above the table, do I have to spend a budget tally on flowers?
I mean, if you want to blow a budget tally on flowers, you certainly can. That would give them a decent array of flowers. Enough for
Are you getting
everybody.
different bouquets for each member of the Ghost Hunters?
I'm gonna spend a budget tally to get like enough for each member of the Ghost Hunters Club.
Yeah,
That's really
absolutely.
cute.
Okay. So who's heading to Laropa General?
I think it's just Kat and I.
Kat and Aisha? Okay.
Ooh, Salem, what if you got those photos developed? I'm going to say it like very quietly to Salem so that the Wanderer doesn't hear.
I mean, I think that's a good idea. I was probably going to do that tomorrow. Because I
Okay.
think Melody and I are going to do this church thing. But I love the way you're thinking. That's a good idea.
I mean, yeah, when does the Ghost Hunter Club meet? Does it meet on Tuesday or Monday? Or is it twice a week?
It meets on Tuesdays.
Okay, so you're not even going to be able to, unless you're going to like try to meet up with her outside of school. You're not
Yeah,
gonna be
I
able
need
to go to. Okay.
I need to decide how I want to go about it. I can sneak it in, try to be stealthy, or I could just be honest and be like, I was going to meet you guys there, couldn't find you, but I found your camera.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, never mind. Yeah. Good luck at the AA meeting, and I'm gonna.
Oh,
I'll go to the library. Good luck.
That was a
pretending to be
sentence.
functioning alcoholic.
This just made me think of in grade 9 when this random senior walked up to me and like senior as in like grade 12, and handed me an AA pamphlet. It just walked away.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that tracks.
Look like a
Yeah,
functioning
sounds
alcoholic. Here you go.
I was so straight edged as a child.
At least it wasn't a track.
Okay, so we've got Salem and Melody heading to Sacred Hearts Church to go to the AA meeting. We've got Kat and Aisha heading to La Ropa General to check in on the ghost hunting club after stopping off to pick up a handful of bouquets of flowers. And Damian, you are heading to the La Ropa Library to do some research to find locations that the soccer club might be able to practice at that would be secluded and kind of hidden. Okay,
Word.
well, we're going to be getting into that in about 10 minutes when we come back from our break. So, everybody stay tuned. We'll be right back. And when we get back, we're going to find out more about what our heroes discover. Stay tuned. Howdy everybody, we are back, and when we last left off, our Magi-Knights were splitting up to do separate investigations throughout the city of La Ropa. It's now about 5 o'clock in the evening, everybody is making their way to their various destinations. Salem and Melody are heading to the Sacred Heart Church to scope out an AA meeting. Aisha and Kat are heading to La Ropa General to check in on the Ghost Hunting Club, and Damian is going to the library to research locations that the soccer team of La Ropa High might be able to practice without being noticed. So let's go ahead and start with that, Damian. What I would like from you is an investigation check.
It's a 9.
Okay. So, you get into your investigation at the library, starting to, look in books. You start asking questions about you start asking questions from the ladies who work there, the librarians, asking for locations around the city that might be big enough and open enough for some soccer playing. The question they find kind of weird, but they do kind of point you at a few maps of the city, and you kind of start looking at it and start guesstimating. Now, with your 9, the obvious answer is La Ropa Park in the center of the city. It's the biggest park around there that's not like covered in forest, because I will remind you, we are in the Pacific Northwest, which means there's a lot of trees around the city. Very, very large forests, both to the north and to the south of the city. However, you also note that there are several farms around the eastern side of the city. And several of those could also be big enough for a for soccer playing. I will point those out to you. One of them is here on between the upper and lower east side of the city. Another one is actually pretty close to the lumber yard, right up here towards Uptown La Ropa.
Huh. Yeah, okay. Noted. Cool. I make note of that, and then start. Once I've done all my research, I start driving up to Sacred Hearts and Europa General, where everyone else is.
Okay. Well, while that's going on, let's turn our attention now to Aisha and Kat, who, after stopping by a florist and Aisha spending one of her budget tallies, you arrive at Europa General with arms just filled with bouquets. It is 1996, which means that security is a lot different than it is here in 2024. A lot different. For the most part, nobody stops you as you walk in. You have no idea where they are. You know they're somewhere here in in Europa General. So my question to the two of you is how do you plan on finding the Ghost Hunting Club?
Well, Kat spent a lot of time at the hospital because her mom worked there. Mm-hmm. And probably some of the people know her. Well, she probably spent it more when she was younger.
Okay.
But some of them might know her, so she might be able to ask around. So yeah, there were some of our classmates were brought in.
Okay. So
we were bringing them flowers.
You can roll either an investigation check. I would also allow a persuasion check for this.
They're both the same. I can't see what I get.
22. Well done.
Yay!
Nice.
I have too many tabs open. I cannot see my rolls until I find the right tab after.
But yeah, with that 22, you go search out a good friend of your mom. She's kind of a matronly lady, very grandmotherly sort. She works the front desk in the main part of the hospital, and you've met her many times throughout your young life. So you see her positioned there. You head over and you kind of just give her a simple spiel of, hey, my friends got taken here last night. I'm not sure where they are. Can you help me out? And of course, with that 22, your grandmotherly friend just smiles at you and says, oh, that's so nice. Such a good girl. And without question, she goes and looks it up on her computer. You find that they are not in a critical care ward. They're actually in one of the lesser care wings, which kind of tells you that chances are they've been checked out already. They seem fine, and they're just going to be sent home in the morning. So you make your way up to the second floor.
Can Kat check and see if she can see anything? If there's peek at the files and see if there whatever she's looking, because there was that guy from the lumber yard that was brought in as well. I think we might have had a name on him or part of a name.
So you're trying to
just kind of take a look and see if she sees the name and what room he's in.
Gotcha. That's going to be a perception check.
Just an off chance. Not as good.
Yeah, unfortunately with a 13, you glance over at the computer screen and look at it, and you do not see a name that you recognize.
Okay. Just trying.
I'll remind you, though, that the guy's last name was Chi.
Yeah, I have it in my notes somewhere. I would have had to go searching.
Yeah, it's no problem. But you do know that your ghost hunting friends are on the second floor in the non-critical care ward. As you make your way up to that second floor, the different kids are actually there's two of them per room. So Bianca is in with Kaori, while what's this guy's name? I'm blanking on his his name real quick. 1 second. There it is. Cromwell and Wilmot are in one room together. Kiori and Bianca are in one room together, and Lorna is by herself. You can find out where they're at the nurse's station, and they direct you to these 3 rooms. Which room do you head to?
Should we talk to Bianca first?
Well, we split and talk to some and hand half the bouquet to you.
Split up and talk to them and say, how are you doing? What happened?
So divide and conquer.
See if we can sneak our crystals, make sure there's no residue of actually, I don't think if it would be. But...
Yeah. Here. I'll go talk to Bianca.
Okay. So Aisha is making your way into Bianca and Kiori's room. The 2 of them are on their beds right now. They're both watching the television, which is just, hanging from the ceiling in the middle of the room. Bianca and Kiori both look up as you step into the room, carrying 2 of those large bouquets, and they both kind of smile, and Bianca's like, "Oh, Aisha, it's good to see you. I'm surprised you heard that we're here."
Salem also sends their regards. There? Salem's pronouns they them? Yeah. Their regards. We've been doing some study groups. Sid was up, and they're a bit busy right now, but I wanted to make sure you were doing okay.
Oh yes, I think we're okay. We both got a little bit of a bump on the head. Tell Salem that we're sorry that we weren't able to meet up with everybody at the cemetery. It was just the most bizarre thing. We were heading to the cemetery to do our investigation when something ran out in the road, and we ended up slamming on the brakes and everyone hitting their head at the same time. Isn't that just crazy?
That is terrible luck. Head injuries too. They can be so much worse. But seems like they look relatively okay, right?
Make a medicine check.
Yeah, that makes sense. 12.
Yeah, they seem to be looking fine. Both of them have like a bandage wrapped around their head a little bit, but other than that, they seem perfectly fine.
Thankfully, it seems like there's not going to be any permanent cosmetic damage, and you're going to make a full recovery.
Oh, I'm sure we will. We'll be back in school at least by Friday, to be sure. Kiori kind of glances over and says, "Yeah, I'm gonna try to milk it at least one more day."
I mean, that should be easy. Parents are, if nothing else, always very concerned about head injuries. I'm just gonna tap her forehead at that.
Yeah.
So, was like a creature attacked you, like a moose or something in the city?
I don't know. It all happened so fast. I just remember something coming out in the road, and we slammed on the brakes. Kiori kind of speaks up. Yeah, who was driving anyway? And both of them kind of look at one another, and I don't quite remember.
Well, you know what they say with head injuries, it can be hard to remember, especially right after. But try not to think about it too hard. It can lead to longer standing issues. Just know you're okay now, and that's what's important.
They kind of chat with you a little bit. Do you have any specific questions you'd like to ask them?
Man, I already got all the specific. You just gave me all the specific questions I was planning.
Fair enough.
I think I want to like pull up my star necklace and look at the soul crystal I've shoved into the back of it. And even though like the Wanderer has told us there should be nothing, I just want to make sure.
Mysticism check.
Yeah, I'm real bad at these. That was a 14 on the die for a total of 12.
Yeah. Yeah, with your 12, you do not see any glow coming from your crystal.
Cool. Yeah, just like kind of always am fiddling with my necklace. It looks completely natural.
Absolutely. So, got anything else for me?
Yeah, no, I think she's gonna try and help them a little bit, like piece back their memory if she can by saying, well, is there normally a car you all take to investigations? Does that belong to someone specific normally?
Bianca says that, well, I have my car, Cromwell has a car, Lorna has a car. I'm pretty sure I was planning on driving, though. But I don't remember being behind the wheel.
Did, when you were found, have you been spoken to by, like, the police who found you or anything like that yet?
She nods her head. Yeah, the police came in and asked me some questions. We told them the exact same thing.
All right. Do you know if your car is okay? If there was a crash, there would probably have been damage, and that would have been part of the police report.
They didn't say anything about any damage or anything like that. They told me that the car was towed to the impound. My mom and dad had to go get it today. I'm pretty sure they've gotten it and took it home by now. Okay,
so it sounds like it was probably you and your car you were driving if it was impounded.
They I assume it. I guess it was probably. I mean, I did plan on driving, so I guess it was. But who did I let drive? And they both kind of just sit there and stare at each other for a couple moments.
Well, don't worry about it too much, but I think we at least solved that mystery for you today, so you can put all your energy into the next ghost adventure.
Oh yes, that's right. We still have to get to the cemetery. I hope that we can find the lights and get some good pictures of that. Oh yeah, that reminds me. This is Bianca. My camera was in the car, and as well as all the rest of our equipment. I sure hope that my parents found it when they picked up the car.
Yeah. Cameras are so expensive. I remember during a shoot once, I almost knocked the photographer's camera off his tripod, and that was a whole scene.
Oh yeah. My parents got it for me for my 16th birthday. I love my camera. It's great. I've been using it ever since we started the ghost hunting club.
I'm sure it will find its way back to you.
What about
under her breath, one way or another?
At which point the two ladies start discussing like their EMP detectors and all that other ghost hunting shit that people have. If you've watched Ghost Hunters, then you know it. What they have. It's silly. Anyway, while that's going on, Kat, who did you end up talking to?
What were the other? I'm going to see some of the others.
Yeah, there's Cromwell and Wilmot, the two boys. They're in one room together. And Lorna is in a room by herself.
All by herself?
Well, she has a different roommate, but there's 5 ghost hunting kids.
I don't know who's the better ones to go see. Well, she'll go to the one with the 2, I guess.
Okay.
Pretty much do the same kind of thing.
Yeah. For the most part, you get the same story that they were driving to the cemetery. Something ran out in front of the car. They slammed on the brakes, and everyone hit their head against something, and they all blacked out. Do you have any specific questions you want to ask them?
I don't know if I have anything specific. I'd probably check my crystal, just because that was part of the plan.
Okay. You can make a
Get
mysticism
out
check as well if you want.
I'm not great at them, but I think I have a better than -2.
That would be very hard to not have better than negative.
I only got 10.
Yeah.
I rolled an 8.
You also do not see any signs of light coming from your crystal.
I don't know if I have anything specific. I'm just like, okay, well, where did this accident happen?
It's over on and like the two boys kind of look at one another. I don't know.
Who was driving?
They both kind of look at one another and who was driving? Well, it was we took Bianca's car, didn't we? Yeah, I definitely remember getting into Bianca's car after school. Then we went over to Lorna's house. We got all the equipment. We had dinner over at the diner. We waited around. And then what happened?
You were heading to the cemetery?
Yeah, we
Is
were
that
we were heading to the
And then
cemetery. God,
And then
was it
and
Bleecker,
something like a
maybe?
dog or a cat or a raccoon or something jumped out?
Yeah, it was big. It was like
Oh, it was big?
I guess
A moose?
they both kind of look at. There's
A
no
horse? A cow?
there's no moose in Oregon.
Cat?
They both kind of
I
like
don't know. City.
they both kind of look at one another. Honestly, I don't remember. Yeah, I was in the
Okay,
back seat.
don't get a headache.
No, I was too. We were both in the back seat. Who was it? Bianca driving?
Oh, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You have a head injury. That's probably not a good thing to worry too much.
Yeah, they both
Hey.
kind of like just pause and they stare at one another, just a little confused.
Well, head injuries can be complicated. Get some confusion in there.
Yeah, yeah, I guess so.
No, she would have brought the flowers and said it was from the group of them. From Salem and Aisha and everyone. So
Oh, thanks, thanks. Tell everybody we said thanks, and I hope all of this doesn't keep scaring you, Kat. I know it's been kind of scary seeing all this stuff and like us getting in
maybe it was a
car
ghost that
accident.
jumped out in front of the car.
Oh my god, that would be so cool, right? Yeah, totally cool. A ghost stopping us from getting to the cemetery so we can get our evidence. What if that was happened? Yeah, that definitely could have been something. And like they both get really excited.
So
What did you start?
they were getting all upset about it and worried. So now they're excited. Yeah. So I guess when Kat leaves, she still wants to try to find out about that other guy.
Okay.
I don't know if Aisha wants to talk to the last person.
I'm gonna be
In the
real
group?
based on the conversation I was there for and the conversation I wasn't there for. investigatively, that's not interesting. So I think this is gonna be the very quick, just like, oh, here, have some flowers, and then immediately like exit the conversation as quick as possible.
Poor Lorna. Poor Lorna.
Just a short little conversation, and then it's like, okay, let's see if we can find these this other room.
I think we should be able, between like your mom working here and me having lived here for like a year, I feel like we know where.
It would be critical.
Well, it'd be critical, but like we know even like where in critical coma patients are.
Would you though? Would you?
Do they have like? They wouldn't have their charts outside the doors or something like that, would they? With names on them.
So, like that. Think about a hospital. They do have whiteboards that they have people's names on and things like that, because keeping track of who's been seen, who's not. It's not impossible to find. This is what you got to do. Each of you are going to roll individual investigation checks.
Okay.
Probably would like check the critical area, ward area, and check.
Not terrible.
Too much up. Huh. Investigation. 21.
12 for me.
We got reverse numbers.
Yeah, I like the reverse number there. Okay, well, Kat, knowing the hospital as well as you do, because your mother has worked here for quite a long time, you know exactly where the critical care ward is. You make your way there first, and very quietly you go and make your way over to the nurse's station and kind of just, under the guise of running into an old friend or somebody you might know, you start looking for the right name. And sure enough, you find Michael, on one of the whiteboards, and a room number next to it. This is, however, a critical care ward, and while security isn't massive, this is a place that you probably wouldn't be able to be allowed in unless you're a friend or relative. You would know this, given the fact that your mom works here. So, knowing these facts, you know where the room is, you know it's on the critical care ward, and you know that there is, like, if you're caught there and you're not in the place you're supposed to be, you're going to get in trouble. So you know these things. With those in mind, getting back together, you and Aisha, how do you plan on getting to this individual?
Have any plans?
Let's just walk like we belong. And if anyone asks, I'll say I'm just want to look at my old hospital room one more time.
I just want to go close to the room and check my gem and see if there's any reaction or something like that.
Exactly.
Because I don't think we can get in right now, but if we just walk by it and...
Yeah, we just need to get a look.
Okay. Well, since you're not actively trying to get in the room and you're just basically trying to do a walk by, that is going to lower your DC a little bit. What I need from you is some type of nonchalant check. It could be a deception check. It could be a performance check. Either of these two things.
Can I argue leadership?
You cannot.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to do performance.
So I failed that one. I rolled a 2, so I got a 7.
Really? Really?
Wow. Those are the worst rolls we've had.
Yeah, you know, sometimes the dice just tell a story. So
I want to find out about this guy.
as you're you know where it is, and so the two of you are just very confidently making your way down the hallway, acting as though you belong, and just kind of being nonchalant to get your crystal somewhere close to that door. However, almost immediately you are stopped by this big old battle axe of a nurse who just grabs the two of you and asks you very directly, who are you and why are you on this floor?
Carol, hey, I remember you.
Hey, I remember you. Go for it. This is going to be a D100.
It's just 36.
Unfortunately, this is not somebody you've ever met before. But she looks annoyed. I don't know who either of you are, but this ward is family members only. So unless you have somebody you're here to see, I'm going to need you to head back down.
Is my mother working on this floor today?
No, she's not.
I just was trying to see where I spent the last year of my life.
Well, unless you're a critical care patient, it was not on this floor.
I was.
Were you, though?
I mean...
Was it critical care or was it cancer ward?
I mean, yeah, cancer ward and critical care is two different things. Critical care is for people...
I'm from a small town.
That would be an oncology ward, where you would go for cancer.
It was all just palliative care at the Moncton Hospital.
Fair enough. But anyway, the nurse is having none of this. She escorts the two of you back to the elevator and purposely watch until the doors are closed.
Bring you? As the door closes. Oh, that didn't work.
Unfortunately not.
What floor was that on?
Critical care ward is probably first floor, right by the emergency room.
Wait, so why did we go into an
I
elevator?
don't fucking know. I'm riffing a hospital off the top
No,
of my head.
that's fine. I just had
Get this out of a door.
Yeah, sound of a door closing. Fine, whatever.
I had an idea. I could not do that idea anymore, which was go to a floor below and just try and look at our soul crystals below his room.
But
Well,
if
you could
it's
do it
on
above.
the first floor. If it's on the first floor, if it has a window in that room.
Yeah, we could do
No,
that.
not in critical care. There would not be a window. It's all internal. It's like right past the.
Would the crystal react through the wall?
You never
Or do
know.
thick walls?
You never know.
Could try.
Okay, can we use their okay, that room would be about there. Let's walk by the outside of the building in that area. As close as we could get.
You can
Just on the off chance it does something.
You can
Yeah.
try. You can
As
try.
we head off.
As you're heading off, like I said, the critical care, if it's on the first floor, it's right next to the emergency room.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like in the center of the building. You could
Well, we'll try
to walk your way around it as much as you can. You could even try going up one floor above and walk some halls. Maybe try to get around there. Who knows? You can certainly try to get a reading. What I want from you is to make another mysticism check.
I don't think I've done good on any of these mysticism checks, but she wants to try. She's determined.
I rolled pretty well. Oh!
Crit!
The dice odds take it, forgive it. 13 for me.
With Cat's 22, you actually managed to get right above where you're fairly certain Mikey Cheese room is. It's like there's a bathroom right above where you're pretty sure the room is, and so you go in there, pull out your crystal, look at it. There's nothing, no glow.
There's no glow. There's no reaction.
But you are certain
Pretty
without.
sure it's there.
You are certain beyond a shadow of a doubt that there is no outsider activity going on at this hospital right now.
At least we know he's safe too.
Well, I was just worried about what might if he's not waking up and he's getting weaker. Maybe there was something draining him still.
Yeah, unfortunately, a coma can also do that.
Yeah, just wanted to make sure.
No, that was a good decision. I'm glad you pushed for it. Now let's get out of here before that nurse finds us again.
Yep. I mean, look at those soccer players. They were not looking healthy.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll give up on him for now. There's
We've determined he's safe.
well, unless something else happens, we don't know. But right now, he's off the table of possibilities. And we checked on the ghost hunter clubs, and we know their stories. Although I may have convinced them that maybe it was a ghost that jumped out in front of them.
That's fine.
It was something large. I'm like, what, a moose? A cow? They're like, I don't know. Maybe it was a ghost.
So while the two of you are making your way out of the hospital, let's turn towards Salem and Melody, who have just arrived off the bus at Sacred Hearts Church. It is one of those somewhat more modern-looking church buildings. Has one of those slanted roofs, has a big old steeple, with a cross on the top of it, the whole shebang. It looks more like, how did I describe it previously? Like a very modern building that was once used for something completely different and then was transformed into a church building. That's basically what this looks like. Lots of windows around the outside edge of it, but you can only see into the front hallway, that the entryway that leads to, the foyer, the different classrooms, and things of that nature. As you arrive, you do see that the lights are on. The church is completely lit up. And as you get closer to the front entrance, you do see one of those little A-fold signs that people put up on sidewalks that says Laropa County AA meeting, everybody welcome, and an arrow pointing towards the foyer. You can see that there are a small handful of people inside that front foyer, kind of milled about, chatting with one another. You don't see the pastor just now, but you do see a handful of people, like I said. You open the doors and step into the front foyer of the church. It is cool. It is comfortable here. The bright fluorescent lights are on everywhere. You can see that, that side office area, Melody, the one that you tried to break into the last time you were here. It's on, the lights are on in there as well. And you can see a very, very thin, reedy looking woman sitting behind the desk there inside the office area. There's that big window that I described in the front of it, and it's actually slid open so that half of it is open, and right where the woman is seated. She looks like, basically she kind of looks like olive oil, but with mousy brown hair, all done up in a really, really severe bun on the top of her head that kind of draws her skin back a little bit and gives her face like a little bit of a pinched look. She's wearing a very, very high-necked dress, like high neck, like there's even a lace cuff around the top of this neckline, and the ruff of the lace goes all the way up to her chin. It's long sleeve. You can't see how long the dress is because she's like seated behind the desk there, but you can guess without a shadow of a doubt that this very, very plain brown dress that she's wearing probably goes all the way to her ankles. That kind of vibe, But she's there. There's like about half a dozen people, all of them adults. They are, to your eye, they look maybe mid-30s to late 50s range. nobody your age, for sure. And in fact, as the two of you step into the foyer, you're wearing your school uniforms. You're obviously kids. Like, a few people look towards the door, look at you two, and then give a very, very confused look. But nobody really approaches you. You just kind of stand there, and everybody's just kind of turning and looking like, what the hell are these kids doing here? So, what do you do?
Salem is fully gonna embrace the role of an alcoholic, so he's gonna go in like normal, like everybody else, and find a spot for the group. Like, I'm fully gonna commit to the bit.
I'll go sit down too.
Okay. You do see there is another sign pointing towards the actual chapel. There's, if I'll remind you, there's a set of double doors with a window inset into the top of it on the one side, right as you first enter into this church. And then there's a second set on the far side on the opposite end of the foyer that also go into there. And then there's a hallway leading back towards the different classrooms and stuff like that. The sign with the arrow is pointing right into the chapel itself. And you kind of glance through the doors before you open them, and there are a handful of more people all sitting among the pews. You can see that there is in the back a table with a couple coffee pots, those big, tall, sterno-type coffee pots, with a handful of like cookies and donuts on platters next to it. Most of the people who are in the chapel itself are all seated on the pews already. The front of it, the podium that Melody, you saw it before. Salem, you did not. The podium is right there on the stage at the very back of the chapel itself, and you can see Salem, what they've described previously, like the pulpit where the preacher stands. In front of it, it looks like a giant piece of polished driftwood is attached to the thing and holding up the top of the pulpit itself. It's weird looking. And then in the center of it, there's I've described it like there's a gold cross kind of inlaid into the thing. But it is strange looking. It's certainly not a pulpit that you've seen before. At least, like, you know, there's the televangelists on TV that always do their shows on Sundays, even during this time period. And it's just usually a standard pulpit. This thing looks like just driftwood holding up a top piece. So it's very odd looking. The best way I can make other people in this day and age. Does anybody know who Greg Locke is? He's a horrible human being, but he has a really cool pulpit, and that's where I got the design from. But anyway, that's kind of what you can see so far. So the two of you said that you're just going to kind of commit to the bit and go sit down somewhere?
I think Salem is. Melody, I don't know what you want to do, but I think at this point, Salem kind of wants to see what it's all about, and while I'm in the crowd, maybe like try to look at the people around, see if they have any of the tattoos that we've seen before on people.
Now that I know that there's people in the chapel, I think I might actually want to go in there first to see what they're doing in there.
Okay. So it sounds like you're both heading into the chapel. Like I said, most people are just sitting on pews, talking to one another. The conversations are very, very low. You said you're willing to look for tattoos, Salem, so give me a perception check.
19?
With your 19, like, it's fall, so people are wearing light jackets and things of that nature. There is a couple people that do have tattoos. Like, there's this one guy who with a shaved head that has neck tattoos all up his neck, and when like he raises his hand, his entire hand is just covered in tattoos. There's one of those types. There's a couple of people in there that have tattoos, but nothing like what.
Nothing like the cooks from the restaurant.
Well, so I'm going to remind you what the cooks of the restaurant. They had kitchen tattoos.
That's right.
So they had like chef knives and like different food items, or like a buddy of mine who's still a chef. He has an outline of a cow on one of his arms and a pig on the other, showing the different subprimal cuts. It's things like that. Those type of tattoos. You do not see those type of tattoos on the guys that are here. The one kind of looks like a biker type. Has the leather jacket on, the biker jacket, the chaps, the whole shebang. Big old ZZ Top beard, that sort of thing. He's here at AA. He's got biker tats on him. The other guy, I mean, I don't know how much you as a 18-year-old or 17-year-old, however you are, Salem, would know about it, but they're prison tats.
Gotcha. Knowing his mom, probably quite a bit.
So there you go. So you would absolutely recognize that then.
Is that who she prefers to date or something?
Oh, absolutely not. No, that's not who. Well, date, yes. Marry, no. She marries up. She dates down.
Okay. So you're saying that the AA meeting is in the chapel? Sorry, I got confused about that.
Yeah, the AA meeting is in the chapel.
Oh, okay. So then, yes, I am sitting down with the AA meeting.
Okay. After about 5 or 6 minutes of the two of you just kind of sitting there watching, the people who are in the foyer begin to meander their way into the meeting as well. As they're doing so, a rather clean-cut looking man approaches you. He's tall, he has a very, very square jaw, he's clean-shaven, bright golden blonde hair, kind of swept back, bright blue eyes, just that perfect winning smile on his face as he approaches the two of you and he says, "Hi there, my name is Jordan. Welcome to our meeting."
Hi, Jordan. Thank you so much for having us. It's our first time, well, mine especially, so I'm glad you guys are so welcoming.
We definitely welcome all types here of all ranges of age, gender, and everything else, so you'll find you're very, very welcome here. As the name implies, we do keep things somewhat anonymous. We only go by our first names here. As it is your first meeting, don't feel like you need to do anything or say anything. If you feel like you would like to come up and speak and introduce yourself, you're absolutely welcome to, but don't feel any pressure like you have to. There's many times that people just like to come in and listen, and that's perfectly okay. But if you do feel like you want to stand up and contribute to the group, you're absolutely welcome to. There's, of course, refreshments over there at the back. And if you have any questions, feel free to just call out.
Thank you.
He kind of gives you the impression that he wants to pry a little bit more, but instead just kind of smiles at you both and starts walking a little ways away, but you do notice that he sits at the end of whatever pew you're sitting at.
The refreshments aren't from Imperial Restaurant, are they?
You're welcome to go over and check if you like.
Sure, I'll go look.
Is there still an Imperial restaurant?
There is
It
not.
could have been frozen.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's old food.
They are not. They actually, the boxes are from Ambrosia Cafe.
And they look normal, right?
Yeah, they're donuts, and there's like a Danish that's been cut up.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to eat anything right now. I'll go sit down again.
Fair enough. Do the two of you do anything during the time of between like right now and when the meeting starts?
I want to see if I can see where what's his title again? Priest? Where the priest is? Is that his title?
No, I believe it was a father actually.
Oh, where the father is.
Double check here. Make for me a perception check.
Aren't fathers priests? Would you call priests father?
Not
You
necessarily,
can.
no.
But
Oh,
you
sorry,
don't
and
have
it's not father. It was pastor.
Pastor.
Sorry.
Pastor, yeah. Pastors and priests are different, but fathers and priests are usually.
Not always.
Father
Sometimes
John.
priests. Sometimes pastors can be called father. It's often just a title.
I got a modified 20.
Okay. So, glancing around, like, you don't see the priest or the pastor at all. I'll remind you, his name is John Bishop. But he's not here in the chapel at all.
Okay. Can I kind of watch the olive oil lady and see what she's up to in the office?
Yeah, you can, because I imagine right now the doors to the foyer are open right now, and you can kind of position yourself to where you can see her at an angle. Riding on that 20, you can see her for a while. She's seated there behind that desk in that office there, just kind of watching people. Every so often, another one or two will make their way in from the outside, and you'll see her kind of call out to them and point in the direction of the foyer. Or not the foyer, of the chapel.
Okay.
But other than that, she seems to be sitting there, just watching. However, as the last people kind of file into the chapel and sit down, you do see something that catches your attention. Like, this entire time that you've been watching this woman, she's had this very puckered at both ends kind of look on her face. Just, scowling kind of harshly. Whenever somebody would walk through, when she would speak to them, it's all very sharp and direct. But then as the last people are sitting down and everyone just kind of, that low hum of quiet conversation settling in, you see a change go on her face from sour and angry to, well, make an insight check for me.
Okay. $16.
With a 16, what you would describe it as, you're going from a lemon face to a face of adulation. A moment later, you see from the back hallway that there's a hallway that goes past the office into a back area. You see the pastor, Pastor Bishop, walking past the office. And in the moment that he passes, you see that look just cross her face. Just pure. The word I would say you would describe it as is adoration. Pure adoration. As he walks past her. He steps through the double doors and closes them behind him with just his hands to the sides grabbing the doors before he walks past, and they kind of swing close. and clang together. The pastor makes his way up to the pulpit, and as he does, he's kind of nodding to people to the right and to the left. Melody and Salem, there is this moment where his eyes meet yours, and there's that slight nod, but the two of you can't help but feel like just this cold shiver go up your spine.
I met him before, didn't I? In the choir?
You met him once before, yes. He was at the choir practice.
Okay.
I'll describe him for those of you who don't remember. He is tall. He's a little over 6 feet tall. He has dark black hair. He has bright blue eyes. He has a very, not a super thin goatee, but a slightly thin goatee. Kind of looks a little bit like a James Bond villain, almost. But he's wearing just a very casual button-down shirt that is unbuttoned at the top. He's wearing black slacks. He has very nice shoes on. He has a large gold watch on his left arm. And other than that, he looks fairly normal. He goes up to the pulpit and stands behind it, and he has a Bible in his hand, or at least what you assume is a Bible at any rate. It is a black book. He sets it down onto the pulpit, but he doesn't get behind it for more than a second. Instead, he walks down to the steps that lead up to the stage, and he stands in front of it as he begins the meeting. Now, I'm not going to alliterate an AA meeting. I see absolutely no reason to do that. Let's just say that for the most part, AA meetings start off with somebody coming up and beginning the meeting and talking a little bit, and then they eventually open up the floor and people kind of get up one after another and just talk about what's been going on in their week or their month or whatever. There's a lot of talk about addiction and struggle and the challenges therein. But other than that, it's a very calm meeting for the most part. It's mostly just people kind of coming up and talking about their day. First question I'm going to ask the two of you is, what do you do during this hour-long meeting? Are you just sitting in the back listening? Or do any of you kind of get up and talk or anything like that? Just kind of give me an idea and we'll go from there.
You can go first.
I think Salem actually would. I think Salem would probably talk, introduce himself, and go through the spiel.
Okay.
But I wouldn't use Salem's name. But
so this is going to be another check. This is going to either be a deception or a performance check. I'm going to allow either one of these because you are putting on a bit of a performance, but you're also deceiving. So you're going to get up, you're going to say a name, and kind of give that little, hi, my name is blank, and it's been blank since my last drink or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Give me a check.
23.
Okay.
I think.
Go ahead.
I think Salem's really gonna lean into the loss of David and be like, it's just something that, unfortunately, when you lose somebody, no matter how young or old they may be, it doesn't sit. It sits with you. It's a weight, and it pulls you and it drags you down so deep. And sometimes the only relief that you can get is just. And it's just been really tough to deal with. I mean, I'm 17 and I've already lost so many, and just really lay into it.
Oh yeah. And the whole congregation just buys it, hook, line, and sinker. Like, people are getting emotionally invested in this. There's some tears. That shared suffering bond is kind of coming back and forth in there, and you can just feel a little bit of that radiating outward towards you as you're giving this. It's a very warm moment. If it weren't for the fact that you're lying out your ass.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I got deception for a reason. I want to use it.
Hell yeah, I love it. Melody, what do you do during this time?
I think I just want to watch everybody during the meeting, kind of watch their expressions and see how they're reacting to things that other people say.
Okay, I like it. So what I want from you is an insight check.
Okay. I used up all my good rolls. 8.
Okay. It's really difficult to tell with these people. There's definitely a lot of vibing going on between what Salem's saying up front to everybody. One more thing I want you to do before I finish this narration is I want you to make a "Hey, I remember you" check.
Okay.
You both actually get to do this.
Okay. No.
Okay, what'd you get?
47 and 23. Oh, 29, sorry.
Yeah, 29 for me.
Yeah. So unfortunately, yeah, you really don't recognize anybody here at this meeting. You're trying to get a little bit of an insight on how people are reacting or what's going on, and unfortunately, Melody, it's really hard to tell beyond just that shared vibe of everybody getting really into the conversation of addiction and stuff like that. The meeting eventually comes to an end. People begin to disperse a little bit. But as that's happening, Salem, that same blonde guy, tall, chiseled jaw, looks very clean cut. He approaches you and he calls you by the name that you gave, and says, "Hey, can I talk to you for a moment?"
Yeah, sure. What's up?
Well, just everything that you said today, it really just made me want to reach out to you and let you know that I get it. I understand exactly how you feel, and begins to talk a little bit of a sob story of his own about losing a loved one very, very close to him, yada, 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 shared experience, that sort of thing. And he eventually ends it with, one of the things that is very, very central to AA is having checks and balances. And I was just wondering if you didn't have anybody to sponsor you and help you through your tough times, I would absolutely be willing to be that for you.
Really, that I'm touched. I don't actually at the moment, so that would be really helpful. Because it's tough when you're navigating things alone. So it would be great.
Mm-hmm. He takes a moment to exchange information with you. He gives you his phone number, and he gives you 2 numbers, one for his house phone and also for his pager, and tells you that at any point you feel like you need you want to drink, or if you just need some time, someone to talk to about that sort of thing, you can call this beeper number here, and I will get back to you immediately.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Jordan. This has been a good first step, I think.
One thing he does mention to you is that the group here is kind of getting bigger and bigger as more people are starting to work through their addiction. They're actually really, really excited because here next month, a very, very famous anger management speaker is coming here to Laropa, who's been very, very vocal about his own addictions and has been willing to share these sort of things. And he's planning on coming here to Sacred Hearts Church once he moves to Laropa next month.
Oh wow, that's fantastic. I mean, I may not relate with the anger, but addiction, I think everybody can. I'd love to attend.
Well, I'll definitely reach out and let you know when he's going to be here at the church. I'm one of the members here. I'm actually one of the deacons here at Sacred Hearts, and so we'll be finding out here very, very soon whether or not or when his he's going to be here and is planning on speaking here at the meeting. His name is Christian Slattery.
How do you spell the last name?
Slattery.
Perfect. I can't thank you enough, Jordan. This has been fantastic, and I will definitely try to get in contact soon. Maybe we could meet for coffee or something and just kind of chat.
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime you feel the need to chat, just call the beeper and I'll get with you.
I will. Thank you. And then I think that's a good point for me to step away and join Melody and get out.
Yeah, absolutely. While that's going on, Melody, no one approaches you at the end of the meeting because you didn't speak. So while Salem is actually conversing, you have time to do something else if you want to.
Yes. I want to. I think I actually want to go see what the pastor is doing and maybe talk to him.
Okay. Pastor Bishop is he actually kind of makes the rounds around and takes a moment to speak with everybody. So you kind of watch him as he goes from person to person to person. You also see that spindly, skinny lady. She didn't participate in the meeting, but when the meeting started, you did note that she came into the chapel and sat at the very back and just kind of listened in, taking notes and things like that. After like a few moments of watching the pastor go from person to person to person to person, you do see him stop and speak with her for a few minutes. They talk for about 5 or 6 minutes. She kind of makes some notes, and then goes heading back out of the chapel and into the foyer as the pastor continues on. At any point, you could probably go up and kind of jump in and speak with him. What do you want to say to him?
Okay, I'll just say, hello. Would he just be called Pastor Bishop? Is that how you address or Father Bishop?
Yeah, probably Pastor Bishop would be.
Okay. Hello, Pastor Bishop. I don't know if you remember me.
He looks at you up and down for a moment. Oh, yes, you came in a week ago or so, if memory serves, looking for information about the church. I was sad to not see you this past Sunday.
Oh, I'm sorry. We recently had a classmate pass away, so I've had a lot on my mind.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. What happened?
What was the story of what happened to him again?
The official story is that there was a gas leak at
that's
the restaurant that exploded, and he was one of the people who were caught up in the blast.
Okay. Yeah, I say, he was caught in a gas leak that exploded.
Oh my! Oh, that is absolutely horrible. You know, a very good friend of mine recently passed under the exact same circumstances. It was truly, truly tragic.
Oh, they must have both been. Did the news say it was at Imperial Restaurant?
Yeah, it did.
Okay, they must have both been at Imperial Restaurant then. What was your friend's name?
Oh, your friend was at Restaurant Imperial. That was indeed the same event. The chef there, Chef Enrico, he was a very well-respected parishioner here. I believe I mentioned the last time you were here about his food pantry that he ran for us.
Yes, he must have had a good heart. It's definitely a loss for the world.
It truly was. It truly was. Well, I'm sorry to hear that your friend was also at the restaurant at the time. This city, it's truly sad how things have been let go here at the city. How many places and buildings are just becoming run down. In fact, I heard just last night there was a huge power outage. It's been happening many times over the past few weeks. But, as they say, whenever God shuts a door, he opens a window.
I don't remember that verse.
It's in the Apocrypha. You're not familiar with that.
Okay.
So, let's see. I couldn't help but notice that the woman who works in the office here, she didn't seem very happy when I first got here. Is she doing okay?
Oh, Sister Margaret, she's one of God's truly, truly inspired children. Don't let the sour face fool you. She truly has a heart that is a gift to the kingdom.
You seem like you just see the good in everyone.
As does God, my dear, as does God. He searches for the goodness in us all. It is only up to us to show him our true heart. And it was a lobster.
Oh,
Those are the same. Those are the same animal.
Right.
Oh, that's right. The chef is the one who turned into the monster. I forgot that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Lobsters are just long crabs.
or big shrimp.
No.
Well, thank you for taking the time to speak with me.
But you're very, very welcome. And I hope to see you again this Sunday.
Okay. And I will go back to where Salem is.
Yeah. At this point, I think we could probably get out of there.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
I want. I'll worry about it later.
No, what's up?
I just want to figure out how to get in that office because I want to see what notes she's writing down about the meeting.
I mean, we have an in. Now's the time. If you want to find out about future events, good opportunity to go learn. I can run to the restroom anyway, so.
Well, but Miss or Sister Margaret went back into the office, didn't she, when she went in the foyer?
She did.
Okay. Maybe I'll just go over to the office really quick. Is the door shut?
So the door is shut. The window is open. So it almost looks like a ticket booth, almost a little bit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I gotcha.
Okay, I'll walk up to her and say, "Hello, Sister Margaret."
She kind of gives you a scowl, I suppose. Hello. Can I help you?
Yes, I must know who designed your dress. I've never seen anything like it before.
Make for me a deception check.
Okay.
Is it deception if that's the truth?
I guess I can listen to an argument for persuasion. Not that
It's okay, I got a 22.
Oh, hell yeah. Let's go, Deceptive Queen.
Her scowl kind of lessens just a little bit as she tells you, "Oh, well, I made this myself."
Well, you must be a very talented seamstress.
It's a lost art, but it's something my mother taught me from a very young age. Your generation would do well to learn skills like this, for it is a lost art.
I've actually always wanted to learn to sew so I can modify my own clothes.
It is.
Do you ever offer lessons?
She kind of chuckles at that. Oh, I'm far too busy assisting with the administration of this church to give lessons, things like that. But I'm sure your academy, and she says that in a very condescending way, would probably have classes on that sort of thing.
Is it pretty obvious that she was saying it that way?
Oh yeah, no, there you could hear the condescension, hardcore.
Okay. I'll say you don't like, oh my gosh, I forgot the name of it because I'm thinking of, Coltrust, thank you. You don't like Coltrust Academy?
I think that you can get all of the education you need from the good book.
You can learn math from the Bible?
Don't get me started on that subject, Kira, because I can go down a rabbit hole.
Isn't that just the Book of Numbers?
Ba-bum.
I mean, everything's numbered in the book, in the entire Bible. So.
And then there's the Book of Numbers.
There's
There
literally a book, the Book of Numbers. What are you trying to get from her? Because it is a little after 9 o'clock. I just realized.
Yes,
so.
I saw that. Let's see. So if you're too busy to give sewing lessons, does that mean, are you just here all the time? You don't overwork yourself, do you?
She's kind of confused by that. No, overwork? No, it's my privilege to be working for this church. Pastor Bishop is a great, great man with a true calling from God, and I'm just happy to be able to assist in that.
Does he have specific plans of where, like, in the future he wants the church to be? Like, what kind of goals?
Make for me a persuasion check.
Okay.
That's about right.
I think I roll an 8 almost every time I fail persuasion. It's always an 8.
Probably. She says, well, Pastor Bishop has many plans in the works for spreading the good news of our Savior throughout Europa. I'm sure if you come to church on Sundays, you'll be able to learn some things about that.
Oh. So while I'm talking to her, can I kind of like glance around to see if I see where she put the notepad?
Yes, you can make a perception check. Or investigation, either or.
At 12?
You do see the book. It is closed. It is sitting on top of a clipboard on the desk, just a little, like, within arm's reach of her.
Could it be reached? You said it's kind of like a ticket booth. If
Yeah.
that little opening is left open, could it be reached if I reached my arm in?
You would have to, like, kind of bend in to grab it.
Okay.
It's
I'm not going to
possible.
attempt it right now. I'm planning for the future. Okay.
Okay.
All right. I'm done then. I'm good. So thank you. I'll see you later.
Okay. Well, with that, you and Salem make your way out from the church to try to catch a bus because, you know, it is 9 o'clock now, which is an excellent place to end things for this evening because it's also past 9 o'clock right now. Well done, everybody. You got some interesting information now, so you can kind of think about that for the next 2 weeks when we'll be back at the beginning of your patrol phase. So you have to decide where you're planning on patrolling. But we'll get to that next time. In the meantime, thank you to everyone who watched this evening. We very much appreciate you tuning in and hanging out with us. Come back in 2 weeks to find out what our Magi-Knights are going to be getting up to on their patrol phase. It should be very, very interesting. Now, as always, we go around the table and have everybody tell us who they are and where we can find them on the internet. And Los, since you're the one who did the recap today, why don't you go first?
Sorry, I was muted. I'm Los. I played Damian. I never know what to say in these because I'm not anywhere like streaming outside of this game, which is a lot of fun. But yeah, you can find me socially, like on all the social networks under PDX Homebrew. And that's it. Yeah, thanks for watching.
Kira, you're next.
Okay. I'm Kira. I'm the assistant creator of Magi-Knights Awakening. And you can find that on the PDF on DriveThruRPG. We'll soon actually have print on demand available for that as well. And I'm also the author, of the children's book, My Dad the Game Master, which you can find on Amazon. And our website is magi-knights.com.
Definitely go check it out. John, you're next.
I'm John. You can find me here every other Monday and Wednesday. Mondays, I'm in the Aethertech Wars, where I play a little beautiful goth boy, gravedigger shielder. I love him so much. He's so fun. And here on Wednesdays, where I play Salem, who I guess is the resident bad boy. Just because nobody else is. Also on Instagram at CreativePanda88 and on Blue Sky at johnpoart.bluesky, all that stuff. So,
Right on. Ashley, you're next.
I'm Ashleyien. I played Cat, and you can find me here every 2 weeks.
Damn right. Random Rhapsody exclusive. Hana, you're next.
Hi, I'm Hana, your Aisha for tonight. You can find me here every other Wednesday and the second Sunday of every month over on Singularity Roleplay, where I play characters the complete opposite of Aisha. She's my misanthropic trans hacker girl who just won a fight pit tournament to get some information in a City of Mist game. And now we're gonna have to act on that next month. So looking forward to that. Otherwise, you can find me anywhere that matters on the internet at Destiny Trio INC. Yeah, and that's all. Let your heart be your guiding key.
Heck yeah. Well, as always, I am Matthew R. Dawson, your friendly neighborhood host and game master here on the Random Rhapsody Network. We got a lot of stuff going on here, but you can always find me on as at Scruffy Wanderer on the tweets, the Instas, the Blue Skies, the TikToks, and everywhere else. If it exists, I'm on it as Scruffy Wanderer. You can also find me on a few other channels besides this one. Occasionally, I'm over on Lost Caravan. Occasionally, I'm on All on the Table TTRPG and a handful of other places here coming up pretty soon. So just follow me on the socials and you can keep up with all that stuff. Well, on behalf of everyone here in the Magi-Knights and everyone in the Random Rhapsody crew, I just want to say, thank you, folks. It's been a delight. So long. Good luck. And until next time, may your dreams be infinite. And good night.
Night.
Oh, stick around. We're going to be doing a raid.